In October, Defense Secretary Leon Panetta warned that the United States was facing the possibility of a cyber Pearl Harbor and is vulnerable to foreign computer hackers who could dismantle the nation's power grids, transportation systems, financial network, and government. Indeed, cyber attacks have been gaining steam and are now the #1 concern for CEOs. The Department of Homeland Security issued a report recently that estimates there are nearly 200 serious attacks on energy, water, and utility systems in the U.S. last year. Last fall, a number of U.S. banks, including Bank of America, J.P. Morgan Chase, and PNC Bank, reported cyber attacks on their websites, pointing the finger towards Iran. More recently, hackers weaseled their way into systems of the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, the U.S. Department of Energy, and the Federal Reserve. So how serious are these attacks, and how safe is your data? Here to weigh in is Hord Tipton, Executive Director for International Information Systems Security Certification Consortium. Mr. Tipton, welcome to the Wall Street Report. It's great to have you on the program.
Oh, great to be here.
So the attacks seem to be escalating across all fronts. I want to start off with the recent Iranian cyber attacks on the U.S. banks. How serious is this threat for the security of our financial system and consumers?
Well, the threats are very serious, particularly the types of attacks that are being launched. The thing that just constantly seems to frustrate us is how quickly they're able to add new levels of sophistication to the attacks. If we just look at something like the DDoS attack, it used to be fairly simple and straightforward, but with all the different ways that we connect through the internets and our systems today, there's probably over 25 different ways that they can attack our banking systems, our home computers, and anything else that they would like to attack.
So how vulnerable are people's bank accounts and personal financial data from these cyber attacks? Is sensitive financial data being compromised?
It all depends upon the nature of the attack. We have, basically, I look at it as kind of 4 categories. You have hacktivism, which is attacks from people with generally axes to grind. They want to make a political point one way or the other on that. You have the nation-state attacks. One country may be trying to disrupt the operations of another one, either through banking systems, government systems, or by other means. You also have the potential of terrorist attacks through this. So many of these attacks are to create disruptive, we'll call them diversions. And they basically shut your operations down, but they may be up to some malicious mischief elsewhere. So they're very, very serious.
A recent study discovered attacks and intrusions don't come over the network, but rather through people within organizations who do negligible things or who have been accessing work documents through mobile devices that don't have the same protections as internal networks. What can businesses and individuals do to protect themselves?
This is an excellent point, and this is why the problem is as large as it is and why it becomes larger each time we invent a new piece of technology. There are so many channels, so many ways to be infiltrated at this point. It's like the wild, wild west of crime was 100 years ago. And there's all sorts of different things that we can do to protect ourselves. But first of all, we have to have that basic understanding from the ground up, from our children, all the way through our senior citizens, all the way through our businesses, our end users on the computers. Practically everything we do at this point, all of our business is conducted through the wire, digitally through the internet. So it's high time that we come to realize that and get that education across the board. Our point is it doesn't matter how many certified professionals that we produce, how many experts we put out there, they cannot do their job unless the surrounding people that they serve understand what's happening and comply with the basic controls and rules that keep them safe.
Mr. Tipton, thanks so much for coming on the program and sharing your insight. I so appreciate it, and I hope to talk with you again sometime soon.
Oh, you will for sure. Thank you.